and I grew up together, and she's got 3 kids. That's one of her kids, and he's amazing. He's only 13 years old too. So great dancer, great dancer. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I remember you said he's like 13 or 14 years old. He's got those Michael Jackson moves down,
Yeah,
perfect.
I mean he's real talented, real talented. It worked out real. He did that on one take too.
Did he?
So yeah.
Now, I watched another one of your YouTube videos where you're, and I can't remember which song, and I apologize, but you're in the studio, and it's basically just a headshot of you singing in the studio. It's kind of like black and white.
Oh, that's the hell with your love. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Let me. I don't think I have that one. Let me double check real quick. Goddess, keep our guests occupied for a minute.
Ginger's saying, how about everybody act like an animal?
I don't think he has that one, Ginger.
Okay, no, I do have "To Hell with Your Love." Is that the one you want to go with?
Yeah, go with that one. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go with that one. "To Hell with Your Love" by David Britt.
Woohoo!
Let the clouds roll in. Let the rain hit my face. Let the memory of you just dissipate. Let the wind howl loud. Let the tears stream and flow. Let me feel this pain so I can't let you go. There's not a drink, a pill, not a gun, not a knife to take away this pain that you brought to my life. I'm gonna put on my cowboy boots and just settle up. Say to hell with your love. Say to hell with your love. Let the cut bleed out. Let it fall from my skin. Let it stain my soul. Let it tear from within. Let the wind howl loud. Let the tears stream and flow. Let this pain eat up my heart so I can't let you go. There's not a drink, a pill, not a gun, not a knife to take away this pain that you brought to my life. I'm gonna put on my cowboy boots and just settle up. Say to hell with your love. Say to hell with your love. Why did you say forever? What did you mean at all? Strike a match and light it up and let me feel the fire. There's not a drink, a pill, not a gun, not a knife to take away this pain that you brought to my life. I'm gonna put on my cowboy boots and just settle up. There's not a way to kill, stop the air that it breathes. All of this hell that you left living inside me. I'm gonna put on my cowboy boots and just settle up. Say to hell with your love. 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 Say to hell with your love.
Wow, what an amazing song! "To Hell with Your Love," David Britt. David, is there a story behind that song, brother?
Absolutely, there is. There's usually a story behind I'd say almost every song I write. There's a story behind it. Yeah, I mean, you mean to tell you about it? I'll tell you. It's a pretty cool story.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so 2013, I had a you know had a I had been broken up for a couple months, and and I had some kind of interesting news I found out in relation to my breakup and kind of what happened actually that I did not know about per se before, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I was actually walking. I was at a park, and when I found out, I had my phone with me. I write all my music on my phone, and then I'll go eventually get my guitar and get it done and everything. But I'll usually write the lyrics and the tune and everything in my head, and I'll just translate it onto my phone so I can have it right there.
Right.
And so I was taking a lap around the lake there, and in about 2 minutes I wrote that song. I was so upset. I did that in one lap around a lake. I went to the studio 2 days later and we knocked it out in 3 days.
Well, when it's that easy to do something, it usually comes from God.
That you know what? It's funny you said that because we were recording a song about a year and a half ago, and with a gospel duet group, and they were in there with us, and it was a Christian kind of gospel song I did called "Do You Really Believe?" And it was so weird because one of the ladies, we did one recording of their pass through, and it was unbelievable. And she said, my producer said that was incredible. On first take, she goes, usually the first time is God. So if it's that good, you need to stick with it. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I agree. I mean, when something I like to say creative minded people because that's who I connect with. That's who I always have because I'm a creative minded person.
Yeah.
The thing about creative people is the rest of the world usually doesn't understand creative people, and they call you eccentric.
Yes.
And it's not that you're eccentric; it's just that you're so much usually smarter than the average person. It's not funny. I mean, I'm not putting anybody down. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying there's a different way of thinking. It's a different. It's like a different highway to travel to get to the same goal. It's not saying anything bad about anybody, but I find creative people so interesting.
Yeah. There's never really a dull moment around me. I'm usually got things going pretty much full blast all the time. You never know what's going to happen. I'm all over the place. I usually write. On average, I write about 5 songs a week. Sometimes more, sometimes less. So I write a bunch of songs.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had this song stuck in my head since I was driving a school bus. I used to drive a school bus. I did that for about 3 or 4 years. I drove handicapped disabled kids. And I was driving a school bus one day, and part of a song jumped into my head, and the rest of it never came to me. And it starts off with, "You're in the ivory tower. You think you have all the power." And then I've made like 1,000 different variations past that.
That's a
But
good start.
I would love to have somebody actually finish what I'm trying to say on that. But yeah, I'm not a writer. I'm not a musician. I'm a fan.
It's a great
And
start. That's a good first few words there. That's awesome.
yeah, I think I started thinking about that song because that was about the time period of my first divorce.
That'll usually yeah.
Inspire you.
I'm sorry.
I said that'll inspire you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That'll definitely inspire you. Yeah.
Well, women are usually muses, either in the negative or the positive way. It doesn't matter which, but
I would have to agree with you on that one.
hopefully in the positive way.
Absolutely.
I mean, let's take Goddess for example here.
I could write songs all day.
Look how beautiful she is.
Absolutely.
No.
And you know what? She has a heart that surpasses her exterior beauty.
That's the most important part.
Yep.
Her heart, spirit, and soul is made of heavenly gold.
I'm not here to blush. Steve is here to blush, not me.
Wow.
Well, you give credit where credit's due, David. I feel the same way about you, man. It's that inner strength that comes from the light, and I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
Thank you.
heart makes a big difference. It does, for sure.
Oh yeah. When you have a goal to reach that is bigger than yourself, and you put other people or other people's needs ahead of your own, then you can move mountains.
That is true. That is true. I'm a big believer in that.
So
Yeah.
now, man, we're just getting in kind of deep conversations. My fault, I know. But I've got a lot to say this week, and it's just, it's not. I just, a lot of great things are happening. And I stay away from the news most of the time because the negative energy kind of pulls me down a bit. But so this week I haven't watched any news whatsoever, and man, I am flying high.
the news will sometimes bring you down. Unfortunately, it's one of those things you kind of, you don't watch it for a week, you can be way out of touch with reality, but you'll be in a better mood.
Yeah. Hey, I'm thinking about doing another show on the network too. You won't find this in the news by Daddy Murr.
What kind of show?
Well, it will be nothing but positive thinking, positive thoughts type show. You won't find this in the news. Like, for example, 8-year-old boy helped grandma across the street.
I think that's a great idea because you see that one out of there's probably a million things like that happen a day, but you hear about one. You don't hear about, and so you hear all the negative stuff, but you don't hear about the positive things. And so I was actually telling my parents that, oh gosh, it's probably 2 weeks ago. I was saying, it'd be great if there was a channel just dedicated to all the good things that are going on and showing people what actually goes on that's actually good every day.
That's one of the reasons why I'm thinking of it, because everybody's so barraged with the negative thinking, the negative energy.
Yeah.
And our depression rate's so high. It's no wonder. So what if we, as the media, whatever your form of media is, what if we kind of got together and said, hey, let's start doing these positive thinking shows? What would happen to our society if everybody started thinking positively and stopped listening to all the politicians? Oh,
nice.
Anyway.
I agree.
You'll send a positive message out there.
That's true.
Oh yeah. I mean that's one of the thoughts for a different show on a different day. So everybody out there in Radio Land, let me know what you think of that. Twitter that to me. And just let me know. I want everybody's feedback. Email me, Twitter me. You can find my email addresses all over Twitter because I don't put no bones out about it. I throw out my daddymur1 at yahoo.com. I throw out submit at indiemusicradio.com. I just got an email earlier today, right before we actually went on live. I got an email. It says, Daddy Murr, how would we get our music to be heard on Indie Music Radio? I said, that's easy. Send it to me. If you don't send it to me, I can't play it.
That would be a good start.
You're right. So, of course, if you're sending me a copy of a song that you've created on a cell phone while you're driving 100 mile an hour down the road with your window rolled down, I'm not going to play it.
That's great. I get some stuff sent to me sometimes, man. I tell you what, I'll be honest with you. I'm a big believer in responding to. I mean, obviously, the more people you get that follow you, the harder it is. But I try to respond to everybody, even if it's just if I only have a half a second. I'll at least favorite them. I want to make sure people know that I'm acknowledging them who are supporting me. But I've had people over the last few years that have reached out to me and say, hey, I've got this song I wrote, and hey, I've done the same thing. I've reached out to people. Hey, I've got a song. Would you take a listen to it? Sometimes I'll be honest with you. There's some interesting stuff people say to me that I'm like, whoa, where did you create this song? I mean, because I mean, I've gotten hundreds of these things over 3-4 years where, people, they realize I'm a songwriter, like, hey, I want you to test this song out, and I'll be the first to listen to it. I was like, you know what? I write all my own music, but I want to make sure I support people just like they support me. And so I'll listen. It's interesting, some of the material that I've been sent, and I'm like, that's a good take on that idea. But it's just interesting, though. I think people in general don't realize